Can you hear us now?
Probably not.
How long have we been going?
Long enough.
Long enough. Yeah. Okay.
It's gonna be the bane of our existence every time.
Sorry
Remembering
about
sound.
that.
You didn't miss much.
So we've
Just us
been,
babbling.
Yeah, just us babbling. So we've been discussing ways to improve our Gunslinger class. Braden, would you like to go over
You want to
what
go
we've
over the
been
things
doing?
we've already done?
So we, starting from where we're at 11th level, we've decided to give them the ability to double their grit points to whatever 2 times their con modifier is. 13th, we're giving them an extra attack, so they'll have up to 3. And then at 20th, they can spend 1 grit to crit on a hit, but they can't regain that hit crit. Couldn't hit. Tongue twister.
Yeah, it makes sense in my brain. So yeah.
So do we even want to do the melee combat?
I mean,
We forget it often enough.
I don't think we've seen it come up very often.
No.
But we should have, because Nate has been Nate's character when we played was primarily a melee character.
Yes.
True.
And we always forgot.
But to be fair, he hasn't had too much of an issue.
Right. So I'm almost of the opinion that we just drop that whole thing.
Okay.
Because the whole idea behind that was to make melee weapons, a viable alternative in a world where gunfighters exist.
Then how about we change it to a rule that I absolutely love, which we decided to do for a concept of the dagger fighter, which is you can spend a grit point to add damage equal to how far above their AC you did, and take that number and add it to the damage. So say their AC is 16 and you hit with a 23. You can add 7. You can spend a grit point to add 7 damage to that hit.
I see 2 potential problems.
Okay.
Problem number 1, this forces the DM to give away what something's AC is. Because even if they do the math to tell you how much extra damage you're going to get, you just reverse the math and you have their AC.
True.
Problem 2, that's a lot of math.
Yes.
Okay.
That is more math than I personally would want to do around the table.
Yeah, I'm sort of in the same boat.
Okay. Just a thought.
Now, that being said,
We do, and all just like guns and melee range, mostly for just the. Well, I still like the grapple checks thing. So.
Yeah, I like the grapple check things. Just imposing that penalty.
So
That's
it's
fair.
just right here.
Yeah, imposing that penalty was the only part that we really haven't messed with, haven't played with, and I don't think we've been
Using it,
Okay.
I don't think we've been missing
that,
it.
or mainly needed it.
okay.
right.
We only came up with it because we thought that it was too overpowered. If you wanted to use melee, now that we've tested it, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think it's an issue. I think it's a feature we can get rid of
Okay.
from the gun rules.
What if at 17th level you can spend a grit point, and for that turn you gain the abilities that you would normally get from the dual wielding firearms feat? So if by 17th level you haven't bothered to take that feat yet, you can spend a grit point, and for that turn you essentially have it. And if I recall, that lets you use a bonus action to make a whole nother firearm attack.
My only issue with that is if you have taken the feat, then
That's worthless.
that's worthless.
True, that would not be the only grit feature you give them, though.
Right.
Right. So maybe have it as one of the options.
Yeah, I figure we should probably give another 3
Right.
at that level.
Should
Okay.
we do one where you can spend a grit point to gain advantage on an attack?
Do we not already have that?
No. Instead of giving advantage, we went with the ability to aim with guns, where you get to add your wisdom mod.
Right.
As one of your attack actions.
Yeah. And then the deadly has the ability to do it as a bonus action with a grit point.
Yes. Which we were thinking of moving that to 3rd, but
That's
still to be decided.
I think 17th level would be the right time to say spend a grit point, get advantage on your firearm attacks.
For the round?
Yeah. Maybe we say that the 17th level grit features, you can... Maybe every grit feature at 17th level is something that applies to your entire turn, but you can only use one of them on your turn. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, like, it's either you get to essentially dual wield, or you get advantage on your attacks, or you get... And
whatever.
And it's this big, beefy bonus.
I like the one of
And maybe have to
advantage
be
for the turn.
worth more than 1 grit point.
That
Yeah.
could be possible,
I
now
like
that we're
that.
giving them double. Yeah.
How many grit? 3 grit points? At maximum grit, if these abilities cost 3 grit points, you could do, assuming you didn't refund them from criticals, you could do 3 turns of getting the whole turn-wide bonus before you wouldn't have
That's
enough to
true.
keep doing it. So I'd say 3 is probably a good
And
amount.
they can be regained if they crit off, even on
Oh, yeah.
those, yeah. I've seen that's fair.
Yeah. Sounds
Okay,
good.
so the
So-
17th level ones will cost 3 grit points each. We've got the effects of the dual wielding feat.
And gain advantage.
And then gain advantage to all your attacks. And then... Alright, here's an idea.
What was the
And-
that second one? The
Gain advantage to all firearm attacks.
right, and what was what was the first one?
Dual wield. The effects of the dual wielding guns feat. I forget what we called that.
dual
Dual
wield effects. Okay. And then what was the other idea you had?
I don't know if this should be a general one, or maybe this is something that should go specifically for the ugly, but you could spend a grit point and be able to spend hit die like it's a short rest.
I think that's more an ugly
Okay.
feature.
Yeah. We could make that the new 7th.
So it's too powerful for 7th level.
Yeah,
Because
it
that's
would need to
potentially
be-
Or
a lot of
make-
healing. It'd
or
have to
make
be
that
the
the-
15th.
Really? Even more than the one where we do the bonus action for the entire round of the bit of the basically take all of the damage and then have it afterwards. More powerful than that.
Yes, because it is
Okay.
you can effectively spend all of your hit dice to heal on a short rest.
Okay.
It takes a while to get them back.
Do we have chat up so I can just keep
Yeah, give me a sec.
just making sure we're not missing anyone who's screaming
I
at us?
am absolutely. I need to have a copy of this.
There it is.
Let's see.
And then I'm trying to think of like a super powerful one round thing.
You don't have to reload for a round?
The bullets just magically appear.
Sure.
Okay, I like that.
You spend a grit point, and for that round, you don't actually have to reload any of the bullets you're using.
No reloads.
So you still spend the bullets, but basically you reload them so fast it doesn't take any of your action economy.
Yeah, I like that. I like that one a
You want
lot.
physical copy too.
Hmm?
You want
Usually
physical
physical
copy
copy.
too.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And then I would like to go back to the first level and fix that grit.
What would we replace it with?
So we've got reload as a bonus action instead of a full action, and
Oh.
bonus action.
So Scritch was asking Chipper, what class would you be if you could make one? That's fun.
Us? Ask that question?
She was asking Chipper, but yeah, go right ahead.
What class would I want to make?
Be right back.
I've been thinking of a class, like, I've kind of given up on the Magister because it's just like, the Artificer's doing it better than I could ever do it. I want to do one which I'm going to call the Captain. Which is more of a martial support character. Which is kind of like the person who does all of the leading until you go there, and such like that. So it'll be more like so with like the sorcerer with the magic sorcery points, and then you've got like the monk with the key points. I want to have this one with command points, which are all just support based abilities instead of just magic and attacking stuff. So my idea is to make a class where you have a person who's kind of good at fighting, but his main ability is being able to help his other people by commanding them to do stuff. I'm still trying to figure out how to work that, though, with like how command points would work and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a cool idea. I like that.
I'm debating like what I could spend those like command points on. Like, can he like command everyone to be like?
Chipper would be a pirate sorcerer.
I am thinking that one of the subclasses would be Captain of the Sea, and so it would be a lot more abilities that would work better for a ship fighting and stuff like that, and then Captain of the Ranks, which would be more soldiery stuff, and then Captain of oneself.
Okay,
So
nice.
I'm still trying to figure out how I want to do that, because there's like a lot of roads I could go down that way. My main thing is trying to figure out what the command points do.
That's fair.
Because you'd have like up to 20 at 20th level, or like 5th level, and like what do 5th level abilities do versus 20th command points do. That's one I want to do, and I'm still trying to figure out how to do it. So that's one I would love to see. And now we all have copies.
You wanna hand me the box of writing instruments?
So, how about you, Lance? Well, what have you got as far as a class you'd like to build if you had one?
That I'd like to build?
Yeah.
Oh, and the Dagger Knight.
The Dagger Knight.
The Dagger Knight would be cool. I would like to one day build an unreliable narrator class and call it like Lucid Dreamer. And it would be like the worst thing to DM for because its entire point would just be to like fuss with the narrative all the time.
Oh, I would hate that as a...
No, what you really meant was...
You're right, that is a train, but what you don't know is on that train...
Babies! Ammunition. Okay. So for our 7th level grit abilities, we have... You can spend 3 grit. It costs 3 grit to do, and it's 1 round abilities. You have the dual wielding effects applied to you.
Okay, so this is at 17th.
At 17th, you can spend 3 grit to have advantage for 1 round. Or you can spend 3 grit to not reload for 1 round, and just assume that the reloads come magically.
They just happen.
You still spend the ammo, but no one knows how you reloaded.
Okay,
I just imagine it's like those old 80s TV shows where they're just firing like 20 bullets and it's like, when did they reload?
Every movie ever
made.
Yeah.
So that's 17th, which is Mega Grit. I'm gonna call it. And then all that's left is 14th.
Okay. I will have to get the notes from my classmate afterwards.
Yes.
So
You'll have to pay. All right.
So one more time.
Oh, sorry. So 17th level.
3 grit points.
You can
for a
spend
full
3
round.
grit points for a full round ability. The first one is you have the dual wielding effects applied.
Yeah, the dual gun wielder.
Second
effects.
is you have advantage on all firearm attacks for 1 round. Sorry.
Excuse you.
Thank you. And then the last one is you don't have to reload for 1 round. It just assumes that the bullets magically appear into your gun.
Oh no, Danny likes my unreliable narrator idea.
Yep.
That's
Oh,
dangerous.
And what other changes had we made? We had
11th level doubles your
Grip
grip
points.
points.
in addition to make the last one count.
Yeah.
Yes. That's a good one to have 2 on. Because that means that you're beyond 10th level, so you're going beyond what...
Right.
And then...
And then we're getting rid of the stuff with negating initiative.
Right.
So that needs to be replaced.
which is right by your finger. The bottom of the page.
Yep. So
Right there.
we'll need a new one there.
At 13th level, we're doing extra attacks, so that'll be 3 attacks.
3 attacks with a gun.
3 fanning the hammers. So that's 9 bullets. We haven't figured out 14th yet. 17th is Mega Grit.
Mega grit.
Or True Grit.
Well, I feel like we're now obligated to call it True Grit.
I've changed it in my notes.
And yes, Scritch, that would absolutely be a subclass of a bard, unreliable narrator.
Yes.
I was thinking
for sure.
that, yeah. Hey, you didn't answer.
What? Oh, I
What
did.
class would you like?
Well, I mean, I don't know, because I actually haven't really thought about it. We've got the gunslinger that we're working on,
Which I love.
we did. Danny and I put together the, what did we call it?
The Aviator?
The Avineer,
Avineer.
which we probably ought to go back and revisit and polish a little bit.
Okay. I would be very interested to see it.
Yeah,
I'd
love to.
It, so.
I haven't pulled that one out in a while, so I'd love to pull it out and see.
Maybe if we fix this, we can take a look at it. Fix it in loose terms.
I would have to find the file,
Right.
and we've already seen how that's gone tonight.
I think a cool one would be one where, kind of like in the sense of a warlock, you have a path you can go down, but like Path of the Mutated, where you're just like you have Kraken abilities, or kind of like a druid where you can change into things, but it's more of kind of like a combination of warlock patron, blood of sorcerer, and something.
I think it would be interesting to have a class that is built around controlling the battlefield.
That's kind of what I was thinking with like my captain, which is like controlling the battlefield and all of the pieces on it.
Right. I mean, you get flashes of that with some of the fighter abilities.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
But there's nothing that really zeroes
I was thinking
in
it would
on
kind of be a combination of fighter, bard, and paladin.
Maybe so.
Something like that. Anyway, and then 20th level, we've got the
In my notes, I put the 20th level as Crit Grit. Because I'm a monster.
Crit Grit. All right.
Yeah. Grit equals crit on hit.
Yeah. And the only things we need are 14th level and 15th level. And 15th level is the other reputation grit
for each of the reputations.
So I think, well, besides 14th level, what...
If we were going to leave an open level, it would be 14th.
Right. What if we did kind of like the, I'm thinking of like a... What's the word I'm looking for? Where everyone knows your reputation. So at 14th level, whenever someone meets you, they have to roll a save. Or kind of like when the cowboy or the gunslinger enters the town, like, I want it to be that thing where they have to make a save, or it's like everyone closes their blinds and shuts the windows. Just like they've already figured out who you are, kind of thing. And I don't know how to put that into mechanics, like a fear effect.
Chat has decided your controller class will be called the Patreon patron.
I love it. Yep.
I don't know. That's just an idea.
And Shipper, I definitely want to see what your custom class is.
Yes, you should make the ship mage and send it to us.
Ship mage. That would be awesome.
Okay, so
We can leave 14th for now and go back in. We can get into reputations real quick and look at those while we think if anything works for 14th, or we could just leave it closed.
Yeah, I definitely feel like we should have something there.
But what that is, I do not know.
So, I am going to also, while we're here,
Suggest.
I'm not sure that I'm super
Keen.
on the 6th level abilities.
Which is...
So there's 2 of them. The a little something extra,
Oh, the magic...
where it's magic damage
firearms
for
and
overcoming resistances,
and
then
crafting your
own
ammo.
ammo. What do you guys feel about those? How do you feel about those? I put them in. I think they wound up going in because I felt like we need,
Right.
it's like
Yeah.
I think-
these are features that they probably should have.
I think we should make
but
the ammo craft as just a thing they can do already. Instead of making that something... Because if we put this into a fantasy world, not saying we do, but if we put this into a fantasy world...
ammunition is not going to be
is
available.
not going to be available until 6th level, where you can purchase, where you can make it yourself.
That is a very good point.
Okay. Yeah, no,
And
I'm cool with that becoming a first level feature. I feel like a little something extra where your firearm attacks now count as magical for the purposes of damage reduction. It's a really lame ability, but I feel like
Every class
you need it.
Yeah, it needs.
It is a lame ability, and in a Western themed game, not going to come up all that often.
No,
But in a fantasy setting,
game, it's
you
very
have to have
important.
it.
What if instead of it being that you can that all your firearm attacks can be magical, what if you then now have the ability to make ammo that can pierce that magical ability, instead of it being inherent?
I feel like that's a lot of work to track
Yeah,
the different
because
types of
then-
ammo you've got.
Okay.
Yeah.
We definitely should give, now that we've moved that one to first, we should give them something else at 6th level. I definitely think you should keep that one there just because mechanics-wise for D&D, they need to be able to say, no, it's fine that my attacks aren't magical.
Right. And I think that's why I put it in.
Yeah, that is exactly why we put it in, to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so we still need one for 6th. We still need to replace the grit feature in 1st.
And then
we've got 15th and 18th for reputation,
and 14th,
and 14th
is
for
official.
regular.
Ooh.
What?
So Chipper says the ship mage is bound to their ship, so you hire them plus their ship, and their main goal is to keep their ship shape.
Interesting.
That's really cool. That's a really cool idea.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Oh, it's the spaceship from what's it called? Farscape.
Yes.
Oh.
Moira. Moira. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't know if thinking caps.
So, starting at the very beginning,
At first.
we have to replace a first level grit ability.
What would be a good grit?
So we've got fully reload,
Fully reload.
As a bonus action.
Negate the disadvantage for extreme range.
Yep.
You spend 1 grit point to negate a misfire.
don't you
There was something.
get-
There is an ability somewhere
Is
that
there?
deals with it.
Yeah.
I don't
Yep. At 9th level, you can use your reaction and spend a grit
Oh, I
to
forgot we
unjam a
did
gun.
grit features at 9th. What are
Yeah.
the grit features at 9th?
You can use a bonus action to have your extra firearm attacks apply to any weapons. For that round, you can use one to clear a jam, and you can use one to re-roll a failed intimidation check.
Right. Okay. So then
Now,
never mind.
that being said, okay, what about at first level you can spend a grit point to negate a target's cover for one attack roll, not an attack action, for one shot. You are essentially shooting through their cover, and you can negate their cover bonus.
I think that wasn't that something we gave to
The deadly?
Trick
the
shot.
Deadly?
Nope.
Not a trick shot.
No, the deadly
Nope.
doesn't get that.
The deadly's got improved critical, aiming is a bonus action for a grit point, and then the trick shots.
But we could make that as if we decide to move the 7th to the 3rd, we could make that as the 7th for the deadly.
True. I personally kind of like the idea of every gunslinger being able to effectively shoot through your cover.
Yeah.
So do we want it to be at first level, or do we want to maybe give them that ability at 9th and pull?
Oh, we could move
The-
Gunjam to we could move Gunjam to 1st.
I was actually thinking move the intimidation check to 1st.
I'm okay with that.
Sure.
Okay.
Move that to 1st, and
Okay.
then shoot through cover now becomes a 9th level ability. For one shot.
Yep.
To ignore cover
One shot.
for one.
Which will be good because 2 more levels above that, you'll get more grit.
Mm-hmm.
So you can use multiple grits per turn if you're trying to shoot
Right.
through that. I like that.
So then that's the... Alright, so we still need an extra ability at 6th level. Now that we've moved, I'll make them myself.
Right. So
Which one?
6th.
Oh, right.
So a little something extra. We've got the magical, which again for a normal Western not going to come up, but for
Which means we need to balance that with something non-fantasied.
right,
to-
right for
What
sure.
if we...
We need to give them a cool ability, because that ability is pretty lame. It's important, but it's lame.
It is. It is.
What if as an what if as an action you can do the hat comes up and you glare and then everyone has to make a wisdom saving throw or be marked by you for a certain amount of minutes that give you abilities against them. So kind of tying into the intimidation thing we're going on. So you can spend a grit point for 10 minutes, mark someone for death.
Okay, so what if, I like the idea, what if it does not cost a grit point? Instead, you can only do it
a
number of times per whatever rest.
Okay.
And it gives them vulnerability to your firearms damage.
For one hit or for however long they're marked. I do like this idea.
Okay, I can think of a really convoluted, cool way of doing it,
Go
but I
for
don't
it.
know if it actually work out. They are marked and are vulnerable to your attacks with firearms for as many rounds as grit points you still have left when you mark them.
I like it.
I know, it's super convoluted.
I like it. I'm trying to figure out
How it would
how we
work.
flavor it and how we make it work.
So I like the idea of it's the like the gunslinger has singled you out as like they're after you.
Marked for death.
And
falling under your shadow.
Because I almost see it as I mean, it's that typical scene, right, where.
You knock over the protagonist's
Well,
spear.
yeah, it's that like scene where he lifts his hat and he stares you down, and whoever you're up against sort of starts sweating and backing away, and then turns and runs and trips over themselves as they're running away.
That could make it that you can choose the effect, whether it be you mark them for vulnerability or make a fear effect. But I do like the vulnerability.
It's the mechanics of
how does that work?
What should it cost you to use the ability on someone? How long it should last for, and how often you can use it. I don't think this one should be tied to grit points, just because like everything else you do is tied to your grit points.
Right.
It'll be nice to have a few abilities that are like other.
Once per rest, and at 14th level, you can do it twice.
Once per short rest or once per long rest?
We should do it long rest.
That's what I was thinking.
We don't have many long rest abilities, because you can get your grit back at a short rest.
And you need to, because the pool is so low.
That's why a long rest would be suited better for this.
It should not be once then. It should be...
I was thinking once for now.
A number of times equal to your proficiency modifier?
That's kind of high.
Well, yeah, that's kind of high.
The highest I'm willing to go with that is 2.
Well, it depends on what the final...
That's why I was
Okay,
saying
how
higher
about
level.
this? How about this?
Okay.
3 times per long rest, and it lasts for a number of rounds equal to your proficiency modifier.
Yeah.
And it's just they're vulnerable to
So
your
it's
firearm
6
attacks.
that would be 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you get 3 rounds where they're taking double damage from your gun, and it's 1 person.
Oh, so it's 3 rounds. Oh, so you
Right,
can
'cause it's your
continue it
proficiency.
going. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, you get to do this 3 times per long rest, ever. When you mark them, it lasts for a number of rounds equal to your proficiency bonus. So at 6th level, it's 3.
Okay.
At 20th level, it's 6 rounds. For those rounds, one target you've marked is vulnerable to attacks from firearms, from you. So it's only you, it's only your firearms, and it's only 1 person.
I like it. What do you think, Keith?
Yeah.
That's a good 6.
So the only thing we have to decide is what...
It seems powerful for 6.
Then
though.
we could move that to 14th. That could be a good 14th.
Yeah. I think it fits as a 14th level.
Okay. What would we call it?
I like marked for death.
I like marked for death.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll have one of you two write
What's
down
the action
rules.
economy that it requires to use?
An action.
An action? Because then you don't get to attack that turn.
No.
I'd say it'd have to be a bonus action.
Bonus action.
Or, hear me out, it's a reaction to taking damage from someone.
Oh.
So, like, someone shoots you and you're like,
I like
that better. I'll have one of you guys write that down.
reaction
Probably,
to taking damage.
I'll call it marked for death, but I would prefer one of you two to write the rules for that one.
Yeah.
That's a good 14th. I will think of a 6th.
So
rest.
3 times long rest.
Vulnerable.
1 target. Level 2 attacks.
Okay,
Vulnerable
I've got something for 6th.
If
I've got
a
something for 6th.
damage from you 4 rounds equal to proficiency modifier. And so by the time you get that, the only thing with going to 14th is you've already got a proficiency modifier of 5. So it's already going to be 5 rounds.
I think it's fine.
Yeah, but most likely the thing will die.
Right.
So now, here's something for 6th, which is very interesting. evasion, but not evasion. An evasion, but flavored for Constitution.
Go on.
So the same rules of evasion, we just take the dex out of it when we put con in.
So on. There's only one problem with that.
Okay.
Constitution saves are not common.
True.
Right.
Because that is why evasion is so valuable. Is dex saves happen for all sorts of stuff. Constitution's one of those saves that doesn't come up a lot, so it's not super useful to be.
Then how about Iron Willed? You have advantage on all saving throws to avoid being charmed, feared, any of those conditions that would stop you from being, taken away from your path. I love it already.
I don't know how often you should be able to do it,
Okay.
but what if, as a 6th level ability, you can reduce damage taken from a gunshot by your Constitution modifier?
I like it.
I like it.
Should this be something that goes to the ugly instead of everyone?
No, because anyone can take a bullet.
Yeah, I was thinking it as more of a, just you're a gunslinger, bullets are going to be flying, kind of how to get out of the way.
What if we did if a bullet hits you and drops you below a firearm bullet hits you and drops you to 0, you get up at 1 hit point.
I like the idea of reducing it more.
Okay.
That would be
reducing-
more of an ugly feature.
Should we make that a reaction?
Yeah,
You can use
yeah,
your
I think so.
action to reduce the damage by Constitution.
Yeah.
Or should we do it that you can roll a dice and add your Constitution?
I like rolling a dice and adding your Constitution.
But what would it be?
Because
would it be like
if you figure, let's say someone shoots you with a revolver, you're taking
Let me check.
a D8 plus their dex bonus and damage.
Should we do a D6?
I think a D6 would be fair.
A D6 plus your Constitution modifier? Because at most that's 11.
Because I would definitely want there to be the chance that you can almost completely negate the effects of the bullet.
I do like
And if
that.
it's just your con bonus, I don't know
You'll
if
never get that.
Especially
Yeah.
if it's a rifle or a shotgun, you're taking too much damage.
I like that. So
So
reaction to taking a reaction
I'll have you guys write this one again.
to taking firearm damage.
I'm gonna call it biting the bullet.
I like it.
And it's just for firearms?
Yes.
Yes.
Or how about ranged? Because assuming we enter this thing into a fantasy.
Okay, yeah, I think ranged is
Ranged.
fair. Non-magical.
Non-magical.
Ranged, but not magic attacks.
Non-magical.
You cannot do this with magic missile.
Yes.
Ranged
I agree with that.
damage.
I think that's everything for
Reduce damage
1d6 plus cons modifier.
by 1d6 plus.
That's everything except
Yep.
the reputation stuff,
Yep.
which will be next.
All right. So.
All that's left is to work on reputations.
Okay. So move to 1.
Okay.
Should we start from the deadly, from the quick and go down?
Well, I think the real question we have to ask here is, are we moving the grit features to 3rd level and introducing new 7th level abilities, or are we leaving it the way it is?
I think that it would be better to give them a grid at 3rd by moving some of the 7th down to 3rd as a secondary, and then making new 7th. But
What do you think, Keith?
I like that idea mostly because it's
Right.
With the exception of the Quick's grit feature is not being moved, we just had a different grit feature.
correct.
Right.
Because theirs is too powerful at 7th for that.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I think everybody
So-
else's could be
So I'm
moved to
thinking
3rd would
that
be
this
fine.
the ugliest grit feature for 7th can be moved to 3rd, and the grit feature for the deadliest as 7th can be moved to 3rd as well.
I'd say so.
Because it would be nice to, yes, crit on a 19 or a 20, but it would also be nice at 3rd level to be able to bonus action aim.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we need we're going to leave that one at 7.
So that means we need 2 more 7ths for the ugly
And a third
the
for the
deadly,
quick.
and a 3rd level for the quick. So let's start with the quick first. What would be a good grit thing for a quick? Having played a quick, what would be a good grit thing you would like to do?
Spend a grit point to switch guns without it costing you your interaction.
That's not too big of a...
Well, because if you're playing the quick, what you're going to run into is pull out my gun, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now it takes an I either have to drop this gun or use an interaction to put it back, an interaction to draw another. It's a pain to switch your pistols around. So you could add in spend a grit point to just
negate.
to basically
negate
draw it again without it costing anything, so that you can keep.
What if we just did spend a grit to just negate drawing for a... Because the most you'll ever draw is 2 guns.
I would limit. I'd say it has to be. It only applies to pistols.
Okay.
Because this is basically for the purpose of being able to fan the hammer more often,
Okay.
and it's spend a grit point to automatically switch to another pistol that you already have.
Okay.
What do you think, Keith?
I think that works.
Alright. So at 3rd level, just 1 grit to switch pistols to get a new pistol.
Because then later on, when you're blowing through all your ammo super fast, you'll be able to just
I do
spend
like
a grit
that.
and keep going.
And then you still have your interaction to do with what you please. Okay. Let's go to the deadly real quick and figure out what a 7th grit for the deadly would be. So at 3rd, you can now crit on a 19 and a 20, and you can aim as a bonus action at 3rd level. What would be a good 7th level for that?
So I don't know if we talked about this as an idea already.
Go for it.
What if they get an ability to, instead of taking a single attack action, or instead of taking their normal attack action where they're going to be taking 2 shots, they can instead sort of consolidate it. They get to take 1 shot, but if it hits, it deals
The damage of 2 bullets?
It deals the maximum damage for all those shots.
For 1 grit point?
Yeah. So it's this huge risk and reward where you're essentially taking 1 perfectly aimed shot, but if it hits, it deals the maximum. You're basically dealing the maximum amount of damage you could have dealt on that turn, but you're gambling all of it on 1 single shot. And I'd say it costs a grit point and a bonus action to do this, so you can't use your grit points to make it any better.
So at highest, it would be 17 damage per that 1 shot.
Yeah. So you're like doubling down and betting it all on this really solid hit. And if it hits, it'll deal massive damage, but if it misses, that's it for your turn.
So you spend a grit point to consolidate your entire turn, bonus action aiming, and using your 1 fire action to make sure that if you hit, you do the maximum damage.
Yeah.
So
For all the attacks you could have made.
Right.
So my question then would be, once you get the 3rd attack, it goes up to 3.
Yes.
That
And
kind
again,
of goes
it's
like
this-
sneak attack, which I'm perfectly fine with that.
And again, it's this gamble of if you... it's sort of like the sharpshooter or great weapon master. Like, if you hit, you deal a lot of damage.
So you're saying
but you might not hit, and then it's just a waste.
So you're saying at like 5th level, you get the extra attack.
Yep.
So at 7th level, you're saying that they spend their entire... They can spend a grit point to spend their entire 1 action to
take one shot,
and
if it
they
hits, deals the maximum amount of damage of every attack they could have taken.
So that means they would be taking 4d6 plus
right, with a rifle, yes, it would be 4d6 plus your dex bonus twice.
I like it.
So it's like this
so
awesome
you're saying
sniper shot.
So are we rolling 4d6 or are we maxing the damage?
No, we're maxing the damage. That's the reward. The reward is if you hit, you're guaranteed to do the maximum amount of damage
it'd be
capable.
24 plus whatever your dex bonus is doubled.
Yes.
And that goes up at 13th, which would
Right.
be that would be 66.
66 plus it.
36
dex
plus
three
your
times.
dex 3 times.
And
For one
you're
shot.
doubling down on this one perfect shot that nails them the way you need it to.
Okay.
So
and then we'll have to figure something else out for 15th. But I do like that you can spend a grip to do that.
Okay.
I like the idea of it being like this awesome sniper shot that you're going to take. But if you miss it, you're done on your turn.
So
you're over.
we should probably call it like double down.
I like that. You think, Keith?
I like that ability where
Yeah.
you can just
Or
just
overloaded.
on because it's one shot and that sucks if you miss that one shot
Okay.
because we've done it before.
We haven't actually been naming the grit features, have we?
No, they're just great features. But we probably should name them.
We can go back.
We can go back through and figure out names for them. We'll say double down. Now we're using a bonus action to do that.
No,
Actually,
it's just a grip point.
it's just a grip point. So
You're spending a grip point as an action to consolidate all
as
your
a deadly
attacks
on
into
your
one.
turn. What you're going to want to do for this would be
Bonus action.
to aim,
To aim.
and then one more grip point to take
double down.
one single shot.
Okay.
I like that, where it's just like because that is totally a balance. It is kind of in the favor of the deadly, which is that their whole point is to hit.
One shot, one kill.
One shot,
Yep.
one kill. Yeah,
But it's a big
Which
risk.
is an alternate name for it. One shot, one kill.
yeah,
Because if it's a big risk, because if you miss,
yeah.
you got nothing.
Okay, we still need 15th, but I would like to go back to the ugly and fix the
Hang on.
ugly stuff
On
as well.
it.
Oh, sorry. While you're doing that, I'm gonna think of some ideas.
Now here's my question.
Damage for.
I'll wait for Keith.
Let's see. How do I want to word that? Deal full damage for
I think when we write it out, we're just gonna have to write out like it's gonna be pretty wordy.
every possible.
It's gonna be like you
Possible
consolidate
attack.
all of your attacks into one single action
Yeah,
attack.
I'll-
It's gonna be a bit wordy to get.
I don't think it'll be super wordy, but we'll yeah.
All right.
So the grit feature that's now at 3rd level for the ugly,
Right.
you gain resistance to all damage for 1 turn. Do we still want to leave it at just 1 turn?
At 3rd level, yes.
Okay.
And then we were thinking that at 7th, that is then upgraded for a minute.
So I think that should just be part of the feature. Like, it's not that at 7th level your ability that you're given is that it makes this better.
Mm-hmm.
That should just be written into the 3rd level ability, is that when you hit 7th level, this upgrades to a minute.
So we don't need to just
Right. So it's not a
So
it's
it
not
just
a new feature.
It's not a new feature. It just. Do we then want to add a new feature or leave it at that?
No, we still add a new 7th
Okay.
level feature. It would suck if your new everyone else gets this cool new ability and your ability is that you just got a little better.
Right. All right. So it's 7th level. And keeping in mind that our 10th level ability is putting off damage effects.
I still love the dead man walking.
I'm disappointed I still haven't had an opportunity to see someone do that.
I know, right? I
I
got
haven't reached
close a
that.
couple of times.
I'm gonna look at Barbarian real quick and see if there's like something fun we can work off of the Barbarian.
Let's see, you're a tank, but you're only a tank in the sense that you're just super durable. You don't actually hit that hard.
And we've got everybody able to soak some damage.
Oh, that was the other thing that they needed. They needed a way to like force or penalize people for not attacking them.
Right.
That was the other problem we ran into. Was like, yeah, I can resist this damage, but all that means is no one wants to hit me.
Right.
Right.
So maybe their 7th level should be they can spend a grip point and a certain enemies within a certain radius have to make a save, or maybe they just enemies within a certain radius have disadvantage unless they're attacking you, so you can try and like pull everyone onto you to make the most out of your resistance.
Oh, I just thought of something. Goliath Aurora. Goliath Aura. Which is like, the biblical David and Goliath. Like this hulking figure was like, we need to take that out first.
Because
barbarians
The
don't
biggest
have
threat.
The
yeah,
biggest
like
threat,
barbarians don't have an ability to do that, but I think that's because barbarians can usually hit hard enough that you have to prioritize them anyway.
Yeah.
We're looking at someone who doesn't hit that hard, so it's easy to just sort of
Yeah,
ignore them and
right.
tell they're more
I do
vulnerable.
like the word, the name you gave it, which was
The biggest threat.
the biggest threat. So do we want it to be? You can spend a number of grit points per person.
I'd
Or
say you spend
a grit point to
a grit point and all enemies within range, and I'd say the range would...
within sight.
No.
Nope.
Okay.
I'd say within 60 feet. That's the average normal range of a pistol.
True.
Everybody within 60 feet has to make a saving throw, or they have disadvantage. And if they fail it, they have disadvantage on attacks against
So
anyone
it's
that's
like
not.
the ancestral guardians barbarian.
Kind of.
Okay.
So basically, the goal of this is to penalize anyone who isn't willing to pour the damage on top
So
of you.
it's spending a grit. Is it a full action or bonus action?
I'd say it's a bonus action.
One more time. What did we call it?
The biggest threat.
Okay.
Bonus action.
The biggest threat is ourselves. So
Spend a grit point.
1 grit,
All
60 feet.
enemies.
Now, what kind of save would it be?
I mean, my gut instinct would say this is a sort of a wisdom thing, but I'd almost want to do it something that's not super commonly used.
Con?
No.
Charisma? Strength? Intelligence? Charisma?
Should be a charisma save versus your intimidation. Well, except that because
Well, I
there's not a
certainly-
DC.
Well, the DC would probably be whatever your
Well, the DC
con-
would be 8 plus your constitution, because that's what you're going to be using for intimidation anyway, so it's 8 plus your con plus your proficiency.
Right. And I'm okay with that. All enemies within
60 feet.
Now, is it all enemies within 60 feet or all enemies within line of sight in 60 feet?
I'd say within 60 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Feet must
Prioritize you.
charisma save versus 8 plus con plus prof.
Out of context, because anyone can take a bullet, is an amazing statement.
Yes, it is.
So they would have disadvantage on everyone else except you.
Yep.
Or have
So you're not forcing them to attack you, but you're making it a lot harder for them to hit anyone but you, which is exactly what you want.
How long would that last?
I'd say just around... I'd say till the start of your next turn.
Okay.
So not something you're going to want to be able to... You're going to want to throw out all the time, and not something that's going to be in effect all the time, but really useful for when you start to get overwhelmed.
Okay. And then all that's
Okay.
left is 15th grit
And
abilities.
and 18th.
18th.
Yeah. 18th level
Oh, is it a
reputation
feature?
is a
Okay.
reputation.
All right. So
Now I've got it listed as just a reputation feature, so maybe it doesn't have to.
I don't think it should be a grit. It should,
It
it
should
should be
yeah,
another
it
one that's
should be
not
a
a
grit.
grit thing.
Right.
All right.
So-
Well, I think the ugly at 15th should get be able to spend hit die like it's a short rest.
As a bonus action? Or they could just do it as a bonus action.
No, I'd say spend a grit point for it.
Okay. One grip. Spend a grip point to...
To spend hit die as if it was a short rest. So they could potentially spend all their hit die, but you don't get them all back super fast.
15th, 1 grit, 2
And I'd say that's a bonus action.
bonus action.
Spend a grip point to use hit die, like on a short rest.
That way they can get some healing.
Yes.
Because even though they have resistance to all the damage they're taking, you're still taking damage.
Yep.
So that's the 15th for the deadly. What about a 15th for the quick? So, having played a quick, what would be a good high thing for that to happen?
Let's see. So you're at 15th level. I've
And
already
we
got...
still have that is without the feature yet.
15th level. I've already got improved fanning. I've already got my 2 grids.
Could we do a thing where you can spend a grid to have disadvantage of any attacks coming at you for a turn?
Because the quick isn't really about...
It's not about defense, it's about
Attack?
fast
Yeah,
attack.
your defense is I killed you before you could shoot me.
Okay.
That was my plan.
A good defense, good offense is a good defense.
Yes.
Oh. Your opponent has disadvantage on its initiative rolls and all rolls to try and beat you at duel.
We'd have to write down the duel.
Yeah,
rules
that
again.
gets back into dueling
Okay.
rules.
Let's see. The 10th level ability was when your firearm's holstered and combat begins, it's a reaction to use your initiative roll as an attack roll on initiative count 20. Okay. What about going fast? Okay. This might, maybe this needs to cost more than 1 grip point, but what if, similar to fanning the hammer, but a little different, spend a grip point to take a shot at every enemy within 30 feet.
Yeah, it needs to be more than 1 grit point. So, where did we have... It's
11th.
No, it's 17th. We're spending 3 grit points.
Right. Should we make this one
2 grit
make those 2 then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the 15th level should probably be 2.
Okay. And then that one, and then the 15th for this one would be the...
So I'd say it's 2 grip points. It takes... It is an action. Well...
I don't know, that works. Just 1 action to hit every single person on the field.
Yeah, but you're talking about someone who can already fan the hammer. And if they're going to fan the hammer at that level, they're already going to be making 9 shots.
Yes, but without a penalty.
True.
You can make, at 15th level, you can spend 2 grit for your entire action, hit every single person on the field.
Yeah, now is that the thing? Is it hit everyone up to a certain number of...
Up to your weapons range.
Up to your normal range.
Yes.
So again, within that 60 feet.
Yeah, we have to limit it to 30 feet, because if I'm playing a quick and I read that means if I carry a rifle around with me for just this reason, I can pull out the rifle, spend that, and just shoot everyone with my rifle.
Okay, yeah, 30 feet.
So I'd say everyone within 30 feet, because I think...
Action to shoot everyone within 30 feet.
Yep.
Okay, so 15, 2 grit, full action.
And that's just like 1 to this guy, 1 to this guy, 1 to this guy.
Yep, you're just boom, boom. So it's still the you're pulling fast and shooting fast, but this is great for when you've got more people than you want to fan the hammer at. You can take 1 shot at everybody.
Everyone,
And we need to specify that does not include the fanning the hammer penalty.
Yes.
And you still have to roll to hit.
Mm-hmm.
I like that ability.
2.
Because if you're like in a bar and you've got like 5 people bearing down at you, 1, 2, 3,
Yep.
4.
Oh, jeez,
5.
it's freaking high noon.
Yeah, it's high noon. Except
well,
that one is 6.
Well, that's what this is called now.
High noon. Are we going to call it that?
Within 30 feet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So if you play your cards right, that could be like 20 people.
Yeah. Yep, and you still have to spend the ammo for it.
Yes.
Yes.
You just don't have to worry about reloading.
Or having fan the hammer problems.
All right, and then that leaves us with the Deadly's Grit.
Speaking of which, for that trick shot, did we want that at Wisdom? Oh, plus your wisdom bonus?
Yeah, because
Oh, right, 'cause the
deadly's
deadly
all
is
about being
wisdom.
accurate.
Right. So the question remains. What would be a 15th level for the deadly?
So you've already got like your sniper shot, one big shot. You've already got aiming.
And then you've got, basically your called shots.
Yep.
Doing fun stuff.
What about something that involves re-rolling?
Ooh. What if you can spend... Well, maybe 2... We'll have to... Okay, since it's going to be 2 grit points, I don't know if this is the number we should use, but what if it's along the lines of spend a grit point, you don't have to roll, you take a 10. And since it's 2 grit points, maybe it's more than 10. Maybe it's like you take 12. And you just... It accounts as you having automatically rolled 12.
I
So it's just this really reliable...
I think 10's still decent.
For 2 grit points, I don't think it is.
Yeah, for 2 grit
Yeah,
points,
but you know how, like...
And I think 15's too high.
No, I think 10
For
still
2.
works because, like, imagine the bonus you're going to get firing. Because you're going to have 5 plus your proficiency, which is going to be at, 15th?
Is
going
5.
to be 5, so that's plus 10 to hit. Plus if you decide to aim, which could be up to 15, that's 25 if you just take a 10.
Yeah, but you're fighting at level 15, and presumably you're not going to spend a grit point to do this unless you're worried about being able to hit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say it needs to be like a 12.
Here's an idea. You spend the 2 grit points as a reaction to missing a shot, and it's a ricochet instead, and you get to re-roll your attack for the bounce. It's
Yeah,
not
I like it.
guaranteed
Yeah, I like
that
it.
you'll hit,
I like it.
but you've got that opportunity to bounce it off of something behind
And
them.
I like it. It's called Ricochet. And so you can spend 2 grit to
All right, now
reroll
here's
a
the
missed
question.
shot.
So let's say at 15th level I've got 10 grit points.
Yeah.
Right?
If I shoot
Yeah.
and I miss,
Uh-huh.
now we say it's a reaction, so I can only do this once. Do we want to just say that it's not a reaction and I can just spend it so I can keep spending to try and like keep making that same roll? And
No,
I've
you
blown
can
up my
only do
grit
it-
points.
You can only do it.
You can only
for
do it
one
once.
shot. As funny as that would be.
I don't know. At 15th level, I feel like it should be a thing where, like, if you want to spend all your grit points that way, buddy, like, you can keep spending them all to make that shot land.
I'm fine with
I mean,
that.
technically, if it's a reaction, you could theoretically, well, except
No, because you only get one reaction.
you would have already, yeah.
That's why I was like, if we make it not a reaction,
Well, I was
You could
thinking.
just-
I was thinking in terms of you can use your reaction. You can use a reaction in your bonus action slot, and sort
Well,
of
assuming
upsize
you
it,
didn't
but-
use your bonus action to aim.
right.
at 15th level, I'm not gonna lie, I like the idea of it not being a reaction. And if that's how you want to spend all your grit points, buddy, to make that one shot hit,
I'm in agreement with them
you go for it.
because as a DM and as a
That would be
player,
hilarious.
I would love to see you spend your entire grit to miss.
And that's like for this whole fight, unless you land some crits, you just nope, I'm throwing it all in to make my one shot hit.
The bad guys at because like it's like the bad guys at 1 hit point, and it's just like I need this thing to hit. Oh well, I have another one. I'm going to spend 2 more.
This could also get really.
You know
this,
what?
this could get
I like
really
it.
interesting if you've consolidated everything into that double down shot, and it misses, and you just keep throwing grit points to try and land your shot.
Because you've already spent the 3 grit point to do the double down. You miss. That means you spend 2 more to do that. You're already halfway through your grit points. Yeah, because
is it 3 to do double down, or is it 1?
Oh, double down.
I'm pretty sure it was 1.
Oh, right.
Because it's a 7th level.
Right. Well, no, it's a 3rd level. Oh yeah,
No,
it's
it's a 7th level.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Everything's everywhere. I love that ricochet. Oh.
Steven, I want you to know I thought of you when I made that ability and watching you spend all your inspiration to make one hit.
Yeah, I remember it's.
Nope, roll again. Nope, roll again.
Yep.
Sure. We may have to dial that one back.
Well, we'll have
but
to see.
I won't be sad if we do.
I cannot imagine
that
many
feels
people
like it's more
spending
balanced.
all of their
Yeah.
grip points for that
I
fight
can.
just to land one shot.
I can think of at least 2 people who would.
I feel like
Besides yourself, who else?
Jordan.
True.
Fair. That seems like such a waste at that point. Like, that's a lot of grip points you could have spent on something else just to land a hit.
Anyway.
For one turn, you've spent all your
Okay.
grip points.
So then the thing
Okay.
we are to now is the 18th level feature that is not related to grit.
Not related to grit.
So okay.
I had an idea for the deadly.
Okay.
Okay.
Take a -10 to your attack roll,
Whoa.
but if it hits, it deals double damage.
Oh.
So it's like a mini crit.
But you're also assuming that because most of the time when I think of the deadly, the ugly, it's which one is it?
The deadly.
The
Oh,
deadly.
the
The
deadly.
sniper.
Oh, okay.
That's why. So it's like a mini crit because you're still rolling your damage, but you do get to roll double the normal amount of damage if you're -10 to your attack hits. And maybe that minus needs to be bigger, but it's like sharpshooter, but not just a little more variance to it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, because we do have the
Well, and
feature.
then if we do the math again, it's just like at 18, you're gonna get +6, +5, so that's
Plus, you already
11.
have the double down ability, so
True.
you could theoretically have spent a grit point.
That's true. That's
True.
true.
And that's
Good
gonna
point.
that's gonna bump it.
Good point.
Mhm.
That's ridiculous at that
True.
point.
Because that's gonna be 66.
Does the deadly have anything that allows them to shoot beyond extreme range yet?
No.
What about that? -10 to your attack, and you double the effective range bands of your weapon. Both of them. Oh wait, no, because no.
Cause that
I like the idea, but I just remembered
every.
everybody has the ability to shoot all the way out to extreme range.
Yeah, but you're talking about doubling range.
Okay, so everyone can already use a bonus action to spend a grit point to negate the disadvantage of targeting a creature or object beyond normal range.
Right.
Right.
So that means you can shoot out to
So
your
the
maximum
farthest
range.
Okay,
the
how
rifle
about-
can go is 750, so you're talking 1,500.
How about every deadly at level 18, all their ranges for every weapon is automatically doubled? Just straight up passively, with this gun, you are twice as effective.
I like it.
Okay. So you could theoretically do 240
Mm-hmm.
and 1,500. Okay. So 18th would be
Double the range of all firearms.
auto double range. All firearms. Okay.
I know what we call that one.
What?
My name ain't Roy.
Okay.
And that's a call out, and if you've never seen Quigley Down Under, you're not
You're
going to get
missing.
that. You're missing
missing.
it out. You're missing out on Tom Selleck.
That scene where that guy is driving away in that car and he's just
He's
like,
just like taking his
taking
own
his
time.
And the guy's just like, I'm gonna get away! Alright, what would be the big thing for the quick?
Alright, I'm going to throw out an idea.
Sure.
It's pretty crazy.
I mean,
at
you've seen
this
what we've
point,
come up
You,
with.
you get to take an extra turn on initiative count 20 on the very first round of combat. You just flat out get an extra turn on that.
Not on 20 because you've already kind of got that with. You want to see it again.
Fair. What about on 1?
I would say
You
put it at the
sneak in
bottom.
an extra attack right at the end of the very first round of combat.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
And do we want to say it's just the... I would say it's the attack... Do we want to say just the attack action, or do we want to say you get a full action of any of your choosing at the last bit of combat. So if you were multi-classed as a spellcaster...
action.
One extra attack action.
Okay.
So that means you could theoretically fan the hammer at count 1.
Okay.
So. I'll have you guys mark that down. 18 is... I'll come up with a name for it. But wait, there's more.
I like that. Attack. Action. Initiative. Count 1.
Alright. And finally, last but not least, we're almost done.
The
18th
ugly.
for the ugly. What is the big thing that the
Man,
ugly
now
can
we have to
do?
come up with something that's even better than Dead Man Walking.
Why did we make Dead Man Walking?
Alright. I have a thought.
I'm willing to hear
It is once again crazy.
Okay.
that the ugly class is crazy.
In every combat. So in every encounter. A number of attacks equal to your Constitution modifier at any point during that fight, you take no damage from it. And you get to choose. So at best, you get 5 attacks in a combat that you take no damage from.
Oh, wow.
I thought it's crazy,
Wow.
but it'd be real interesting.
The implications.
It is...
A meteor storm falling on you? No damage.
Nope.
The dust clears and you're just standing like, how
It is the scene from Last Jedi when they blast Luke with all of the AT-ATs, and he's still standing there.
But remember, Keith,
It
you
is
only get
18th
5
level.
per
It is 18th.
combat
It is 18th
encounter.
level, and it's your Constitution modifier.
So a maximum
But
of
if
5.
you're playing an ugly, you should probably have already pushed that up to its maximum.
Right.
Chosen, and someone did say, chosen before damage is rolled.
Yeah, I like that. Chosen before the damage is rolled.
I actually like that a
Yeah,
lot.
that's a good addition there, Steven.
You missed, question mark? No, we've got to come up with something clever than that.
Bulletproof vest.
Oh, I was going to call it Guts and Glory.
Or that.
Guts and Glory is pretty good.
Okay.
Okay, should it be every encounter, or should we say, like, per short or long rest?
Oh.
Per long rest.
Per
Per long
rest.
rest? Okay.
A quarter of this episode is just us writing.
Choose attacks.
Okay.
Let's choose.
That is crazy. That is a crazy ability.
I told you we had to one-up Dead Man Walking, and I think that one's up it. It just... Nope. I'm fine.
Is it any damage, or are we going to keep it specifically gun damage?
I say
Any
damage at
Anything.
18?
You can drop a moon on this guy, and he can get up and walk through it.
We've basically made the Doomslayer.
Okay.
I have to say, as like a capstone ability for your subclass, that's pretty damn
Yeah,
awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're all pretty awesome.
All right, shall we review what we have?
You know what? The easiest way to review is probably just take it from level 1 and read
Yep.
all the way through.
Yep.
Level 1, you get grit abilities, and the grit abilities are equal to your Constitution modifier. You can expend grip points you get them back on a short rest, or when you do a critical attack. At the first level, the grit features include, you may spend a grit point to fully reload any firearm as a bonus action instead of a full action. You can spend a grit point to reroll an intimidation roll.
A failed intimidation roll.
Right. And you may use a bonus action to spend a grit point to negate the disadvantage of targeting a creature or object beyond your normal range. This does not give you an ability to fire beyond your maximum range.
And at first level, you now have, I'll make them myself. You now have the expertise to craft ammunition for your firearms yourself. Over the course of a long rest, you may use materials whose total value is 1 gold to craft 20 pieces of ammunition.
Also at first level, you have a brawny presence. At first level, stories of your deeds spread out before you, often exaggerating the truth. In any case, people around you are wary of your presence and are quick to stay out of your way or comply with your words. You use your Constitution modifier instead of your Charisma modifier for intimidation checks.
At second level, you may adopt a particular shooting style as your specialty. Choose one of the following options. Deadeye, which gives you a +2 bonus to attack rolls made with firearms, or Gut Shot. When you are wielding a single firearm and no other weapons, you get a +2 to the damage rolls with that weapon.
At third level, you pick a reputation representing your skills with a firearm that have made you feared across the frontier. Choose from the quick, the deadly, or the ugly. Each of your reputations grants you features at 3rd, 7th, 10th, 15th, and 18th.
As per normal, on 4th, 8th, 12th, 15th, and 19th, you get ability score improvements. You can, as per normal, also use those for feats instead. If you choose the ability score increases, you can pick one ability score to increase by 2, or 2 to increase by 1, and you cannot take any of your ability scores above 20 using this feature.
You gain an extra firearm attack. At 5th level, you may now attack twice instead of once whenever you take an attack action with a firearm on your turn.
At 6th level, you get a little something extra. There is something other unworldly about the nature of your shooting ability. Damage from your firearms now count as magical for the purposes of overcoming damage resistance. And what was the other thing?
Biting the bullet.
Ah, yes.
Which
was, as a reaction, you can reduce damage from a ranged attack by 1d6 plus your Constitution modifier.
Non-magical.
Non-magical, yes.
7th. 7th is for...
7th is reputations.
Reputations, we'll get to those when we hit the reputations.
8th is an ability score improvement, 9th level.
Grit features.
You gain additional grit features. You can now use your bonus action to spend a grit point to have your extra firearm attack applied to all weapon types for 1 round.
As a reaction, you can... as a reaction to a jammed gun, you may spend a grit point to clear the jam immediately.
And then what did we...
You can spend 1 grit point to shoot through cover.
Right.
But it only applies to 1 shot.
1 shot, yes.
Right. And then 10th level's a reputation feature.
Which we will get to.
11th level is make the last one count.
You're able to use you're able to make the most of every shot you fire, especially when pressed. You gain advantage to your attack roll when you are firing the last round in your firearm. And your grit points doubled, which means 2 times your Constitution.
Correct.
At 13th level, you get an extra firearm attack again, bringing your total up to 3 attacks with a firearm for every attack action.
Marked for death. I believe you guys have
So yeah, at 14th level, you gain marked for death. As a reaction to taking damage, you can do this 3 times per long rest. Whoever damaged you is now vulnerable to your firearm attacks for your proficiency bonus in rounds.
Do we want to make that a save or just automatic?
That's what I was just thinking.
We ought to make that one a save.
Yeah, that ought to be a save. Con save?
No, I think it should probably be the same
Charisma.
charisma save.
Okay, charisma.
And for the next rounds equal to your Constitution modifier, or no, is it
Proficiency bonus.
Due to your proficiency, that target has vulnerability to all of your firearm attacks.
Yes.
And
That is a
then-
good one for the deadly.
Yeah. 15th level is more reputation. 16th level is an ability score improvement. 17th level is true grit.
Which include the following grit features, each of which cost 3 grit and last for an entire round. You have an advantage on all your attacks for that one round.
Firearm attacks.
Firearm attacks, pardon. The dual wielding effects that we have in for the
firearm dual wielding feat.
Firearm wielding applied to you for one round. And for one round, you don't need to reload. It just happens. We do need to name these grits, by the way.
It just happens. 18th level is your
And it still spends your ammunition.
Yeah. 18th level is your capstone reputation feature. 19th level is an ability score improvement. And 20th level is
Grit
crit. You can spend 1 grit point on a hit to turn it into a crit. This does not refund grit points.
Yes. Finally, and now we will go to reputation.
Here's a question.
Oh.
Since we've been sort of increasing the number of grit points you have to spend, do we want to up that from a single grit point?
It's your 20th level ability. I say no.
No.
Okay. How often are we going to get to 20th level?
I think that it should feel real cool to be there.
Besides that, look at all of the rest
All
of
the other
crits
things you could be spending it on.
spending besides a crit.
Good point. Good point.
So,
All right.
next we go to reputations.
The quick.
The quick. We'll have you do all of the quick stuff.
Alright, so the quick gunslinger believes that being first is best, and often the road to survival. Whether getting ambushed on the trail, settling an argument at the card table, or settling a grudge in the street at high noon, this gunslinger is fast on the draw and on the trigger.
Oh.
and one on the trigger.
At 3rd level, you gain improved fanning. When you take this archetype at 3rd level, fanning the hammer only incurs a -2 penalty per shot instead of a -5. And you gain the ability to spend 1 grit point to automatically switch pistols. At 7th level, you gain the grit feature to spend 1 grit point at the beginning of a combat to gain advantage on your initiative roll. At 10th level, you want to see it again. If your firearm is holstered when combat begins, you may spend your reaction for the first round to use your initiative roll as an attack roll on initiative count 20. Reroll your initiative after the attack and enter combat with your gun drawn.
You could theoretically later wind up taking 3 attacks on that
first
round.
3 attack actions.
3 attack actions.
At 15th level,
Yeah, but you're going to burn through a lot of ammo.
You gain a grit feature, you spend 2 grit, and as a full action, you can make 1 attack at every enemy within 30 feet of you.
I knew.
At 18th level,
But wait, there's more.
you get an extra turn on initiative count 1 of the first round in combat.
Yes. And I will do the deadly, leaving the ugly to good old Keith. The deadly gunslinger believes that hitting a target is the best way to end a fight. These masters of the firearm take greater care to make sure they hit where they are aiming. At 3rd level, your crits do hit on a 19 or a 20. As well as 3rd level, you can spend a grit point to use the firearm aiming feature as a bonus action instead of an action. And it applies to all of your shots until the beginning of your next round. At 7th level, you get double down, which means you can consolidate all of your attacks you would do that round into 1 shot. To make sure that, yes, we do need to word it a lot better than I'm explaining it.
Yep.
At 10th level, your ability to carefully aim allows you the opportunity to do secondary effects to your target using the trick shot table. When making an attack, you may use your reaction to select a shot location to specifically aim for your target. If you hit, your target must make a Constitution save equal to 8 plus your Wisdom modifier plus your proficiency bonus to resist the additional effects. Additional effects include shooting the head. The target is stunned for 1 round. The arm. The target is disarmed and drops any item it is holding. The leg, the target's movement is cut in half. Or the torso, you deal extra damage equal to your gunslinger level divided by 2. Oh.
Yeah, they're nasty.
At 15th level, you have the ability called Ricochet. You can spend 2 grit to reroll a missed shot. You can spend as many of these as you like. And at 18th level, you automatically double your range on all firearms.
That one's called My Name
My Name
Ain't
Ain't
Roy.
Roy.
The Ugly. This is the brawny guy. The Ugly Gunslinger is an impressive physical creature and dominates any battlefield. Their ability to soak up damage and to keep being effective is the stuff of legends and the cause of many a panicked target to watch fearfully over their shoulder. Beginning at 3rd level, you add your proficiency modifier to your constitution modifier when you gain hit points at each gunslinger level. Also at 3rd level, when you take damage, you may spend a grit point to gain resistance to all damage for 1 turn.
And then at 7th level, that increases to 1 minute.
Yes, at 7th level, the duration of this ability becomes 1 minute. At 7th level, you gain the ability called the Biggest Threat. Using a bonus action and spending a grit point, all enemies within 60 feet must make a charisma save versus 8 plus your constitution modifier plus your proficiency modifier, or have disadvantage to attack anyone else but you. The effect lasts until the start of your next turn. At 10th level, you gain the ability called Dead Man Walking. You may use your bonus action to put off the effects of all damage and debilitating effects for a number of rounds equal to your constitution modifier. Once these rounds have elapsed, all damage and effects apply simultaneously. You can take no actions to limit their scope before they are applied. For example, a healing spell before damage is applied will not lower the amount of damage you have taken.
It sure could help.
But it sure could help. You regain the use of this ability after a long rest. At level 15, you spend a bonus action, spend 2 grit points, and you can use your hit die to replenish hit points just like on a short rest. At level 18, you gain the ability called Guts and Glory. Per long rest? Was it once per long rest?
It's your constitution modifier per long rest.
Your constitution modifier per long rest. You negate all damage from a number of attacks equal to your constitution modifier. Wait, what?
Yeah.
So per long rest.
You get each one of these only works over a course of a long rest, and it's a number of attacks equal to your constitution modifier.
Right. So
yeah, the wording's going to be a bit weird.
We'll work on the wording.
That's going to be the same thing as the double down.
Yep.
But yeah, it's
okay.
Kind of.
I have a question that I just noticed.
What's
that?
So if I use Dead Man Walking,
okay,
and I'm at 18th level, can I also use Guts and Glory to negate the damage I'm eventually going to receive when Dead Man Walking ends?
No, because we have specifically said you can take no actions to limit their scope. That is specifically addressed. We just didn't know it at the time.
All right, I have to say I'm pretty happy with where these sit.
I think honestly, at 18th level, I would burn through my guts and glory, and then
pop Dead Man Walking. Yeah,
pop Dead Man's Walking.
Yeah. Whew. I was almost considering maybe we should switch it. I was like, no, because Guts and Glory is far more powerful than Dead Man Walking.
Yeah,
Dead Man Walking. Man, I remember when we came up with that. And we thought that was so freaking awesome. I'm glad to see we managed to one up that.
Which is you can get hit by the freaking moon and walk away from it.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah.
I love this.
We are definitely going to have to be doing some high-level playtests with this one.
Yes. I am excited to see how I don't know which one of these I like more now. I think all of them sound super fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've improved the Deadly quite a bit with the ability to double down.
Yes, that's going to make it
far more nasty.
And I forgot that the torso trick shot was added your level divided by 2 in damage. Whew! Whew!
Add on top of that, if you get the sharpshooter added on top of that.
Whew!
Jeez let me do the math real quick of what the
A lot.
highest you could get.
And remember, you're going to be using a rifle,
Right.
and if you double down, you have your 3 attacks.
What's 6d6 max?
36.
36.
36 plus
Assume plus 5,
5.
because you'd want to max out your dex.
41 plus gunslinger level halved, which is like another 10, so that's 56. Plus if you crit, that's 112.
Woo!
112 on one shot.
Okay, at one point we're going to have a fight where it's a quick, a deadly, and an ugly walk into a bar and get in the fight. And I want to see who walk at level 20. I want to see which one of them walks away.
Because see, the deadly would never walk into that bar. he'd be on a mountain like 10 miles away.
First, it's going to be the quick versus the deadly. Because you're not going to get
All right,
the ugly.
all right, so
the ugly is going to ignore all damage for the first couple
There's an
of
ugly
rounds.
walking down the street as a quick comes out of the bar, and there's a deadly up in the loft of a barn. But I want to see which one of these would come out on top.
It's got to be the ugly.
I don't know.
Okay, so here's my thing. I feel like the quick is not going to be able to beat the ugly, because the quick is all about throwing out lots of damage really fast.
True.
But I think the deadly could beat the ugly, because you just have to wear down his ability to negate your damage.
And he's gonna be like
As far as he can.
as far away as he possibly can.
No, it's just balanced because as long as he's got Dead Man walking, he's just going to keep going.
Yep.
Even if you get to him at a certain... Look, the ugly is probably the weaker when it comes to damage. Correct.
Oh, absolutely.
But he's going to
be soaking things.
He's going to be soaking things. And if he uses Dead Man walking as like a Hail Mary, like, I have 12 hit points left, one shot will kill me, Dead Man walking, I'm going to make sure I kill you before anything else.
Before damage stacks.
I'm so
on
excited to try these out. All right, well done, guys.
So we just need to name them.
Yep.
And we can
and
do
type
that
up a new
type up a
thing.
new thing, and
Oh my
we'll do all of
gosh.
this.
All right.
all of
These
that
are impressive.
off camera.
This is gonna be fun.
That would
Yeah.
be fun. I think we've got everything good with the Gunslinger mostly.
Yeah.
I think we wanted to change
Was
the,
there anything we wanted to look at on the actual gun rules themselves?
Other than getting rid of the initiative penalty, I don't think there's anything we need to change. I think it's all good.
Yeah. We just need to make sure that if we put this as a set, we need to make sure that the...
that they go together.
Yeah, they go together.
Yeah. I've got them as separate home brewery PDFs at the moment, but I can put them all together.
And I was thinking, like, what about more feats? No.
No, I think the
Only if you're
dual wielding firearm one's great.
Yeah.
That was the only one we added, yeah.
Yeah, and that was you can use a bonus action to take a full other attack action, but you have to be level 8 or higher to take the feat.
Right.
Right.
And I almost feel like that feat is best used not by a gunslinger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually best used by someone who doesn't already have all
because
this
the
stuff.
gunslingers are going to have plenty of stuff that's going to...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're going
yeah,
to have plenty
yeah.
of stuff
I
already.
suspect I'm going to be complaining in the future about how I never have enough grit points for what I want to do.
That's the
I
point.
already know that.
You're going to be spending a lot of money on ammo as well. Because, like, with it, like...
With a quick.
With a
for
quick.
Sure. Well, except
a quick at, like, at least...
No, you still blow
13
through ammo.
levels.
I can let me tell you, I had a whole thing dedicated in my little book I was keeping track of everything. I had like half of it just dedicated to these like mock-ups of like keeping track of ammo, because I'd be like, alright, that was like a 5-round gunfight. Let's see how 52 rounds of ammunition.
Because
downrange.
if you think about it, at the most he can fire...
which honestly is like 3 gold pieces.
Yep.
Because
It's 9 rounds
9 rounds...
per turn.
But you're also...
On the first-
on the first
turn-
that's 9. Then on your actual turn...
No,
that's
it's
9.
not even that. There's your initiative roll,
True.
which is 3, or which is 9.
Yeah.
There's your turn, which is 9. There's your second turn on the first round, which is also 9. That's what, 27 bullets in the first round of combat?
And then what average is that?
Who
if
needs a
you hit?
machine gun?
Right? Oh, did we write down the rules for how many guns you can carry at once?
No.
No.
Okay, so we also need to write those
So
down.
it was one large and a small, or two?
Yeah, I think we decided.
smalls?
I think we decided you have 4 slots. Long arms take up 2 of those slots. So at most, you can carry 4 pistols, or 2 pistols and a long arm, or 2 long arms.
Right.
Correct.
Because I do believe I was carrying 4 pistols because I was just moving through all of them
Right.
to kill people.
Yeah, and I think my ugly, which played more like a deadly, was carrying Black Mamba and 2 pistols.
Yeah.
No, Black Mamba, a pistol, and his Bowie knife.
Right.
Okay. I just firearm slots. As you have 4 slots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because we realized it could get.
It could get silly.
All of these are cool aspects as well.
All right.
Yeah.
We've finally.
We finished it.
I'm
finished
so
it.
happy with this.
Oh my god.
Pursuant to playtesting and making sure that it's not like completely broken.
Oh, it'll still be fun if it's broken.
Oh yeah.
I'm still going to enjoy telling my DM, it doesn't hurt me.
There are just so many cool abilities we've given.
I cast
like,
disintegration on you.
No, you don't.
I
you know, like one of Dead Man Walking. I thought was an amazing ability, and we've one-upped it several times.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff here, and
I do like
without the playtest, just on the surface, even without the playtest,
Yeah.
it still feels
right.
like it's fairly
Yeah.
well balanced.
For example, just like the dead, I feel like the dead is a lot like the rogue, where I think it's balanced in the way of a rogue, so I think we're fine on that aspect. The ugly is a lot like a barbarian.
It's a tank.
It's a
for
tank,
sure.
so, and then the quick is
The quick.
quick.
Yeah, there is nothing
just
else
like-
to describe
Like
it.
going back and just seeing what we've changed. Like I do enjoy that we put the reroll of failed initiative as a first level grit and changed that you can shoot through cover
Mhm.
as a 9th. I greatly enjoy that.
Wow, they like get a mini version of the sharpshooter feat.
Well, yeah.
Didn't think about that when we put that out. It's the sharpshooter feat, but it costs
Yes,
a grit.
but it costs a grit.
So there's still a reason for me to get that feat, because then I don't have to spend my grit points.
True. But
Oh,
that just
boy.
gives it a way that you don't have to get the feat. Just spend your grit points. Ugh. Spending grit point like candy.
We haven't even thought about, the interactions with all of the possible feats you can take.
Oh.
Yeah, this will be interesting to see how bad we can break things.
Yeah. So like with the gun, with the sharpshooter. Oh.
Oh,
And tough with an ugly.
if you're a quick and you've got the alert feat.
Oh
yeah.
my
Oh,
God. What would that be in initiative?
Would you like to know? Because I had it.
What? It would be like
I
what?
had +9 at 6th or 7th level. I had +9 to my initiative, and I could spend a grit point to have advantage on the roll. Yeah, it was
Yeah, he went
it was
first.
nonsense.
Yeah. And then you decided to copy. Oh my gosh, this class. As much as I love Matt Mercer's Fighter Gunslinger, this is far more
Well, I
funner.
mean, this
This
is
is a very different kind of
this
gunslinger.
This is a full class, and
Yeah.
that is a subtype, an archetype of fighter.
And
So-
if I was running a fantasy game, I probably wouldn't allow this class in my game.
Really?
If I'm running a fantasy themed game, I'm not gonna lie, I'd look at this one and be like,
yeah, which makes me
Question.
revisit the whole, magical damage thing.
no, there's for sure somebody out there, and I think even in a Western game, from a mechanical perspective, like if your DM doesn't homebrew all their enemies, so they throw any of the regular monster manual enemies at you, and you're at a high level, you have to have magic resistance or magic.
okay.
The
Yeah.
magic
Yeah,
stuff.
like-
That's why monks get it at 6th level too, is for the same
Because
reason.
remembering in Critical Role, Percy had a very bad problem with that because I believe it was like the first time they fought Vecna, Percy couldn't do anything because his bullets were non-magical.
Yep.
I think he went to like adamantine bullets, which
Yeah.
bypass that, but
Yeah.
still.
So I definitely think it's something that has to be in there.
It's
Any class that has that ability, every time I see it, I'm like, that is a really lame ability that I'm never excited to get. But it is important so that you can punch and shoot ghosts.
If you didn't have it, you would feel it.
Yeah.
And now I'm thinking of like other subclasses we could add to this, like the silver-tongued, which is kind of more of a charismatic sort of person who uses their grip points for more social aspects.
Gunfighter.
The Maverick.
Yep.
The Maverick.
I think it'd be interesting to build a magic class for it too.
The magic.
It would be. It'd be.
I don't know how I'd build it.
I don't either.
Because it can't just be a magic gun.
No.
No, it would be. Now, would we have the ability like a Eldritch Knight that you can summon your gun,
Nah.
or is that too cliche?
I don't know. I don't know how I do a magic gunslinger. These are very not
We'll have
magic.
to think about it,
Yeah.
but that's a different cover your assets, for sure.
All right.
Can I ask 2 questions about some subclasses I thought of a while back?
Sure.
Just so we don't have to end.
We'll set that aside and move on.
I came up with 2 subclasses. So I'll start with the monk one, which is the way of the healer, which is more of spending ki to spend your monk die to heal people. And then spending more key point to do like lesser and greater restorations, depending on whatever scale of that you want to do. And then you can be able to cast like Spare the Dying and Gentle Repose is just like automatic. But the big one I thought was cool was you can spend key points to cast Revivify, Raise Dead, all those kind of stuff. But you roll for exhaustion levels if you do that.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, that's.
Because I was looking as like, because you always see like the movies where someone uses their key to heal someone. I was like, why has that never been done before?
Yeah, that's actually a.
Because like we've gotten a lot of like subclasses
There
like
is a
Celestial
subclass.
Warlock, like the Druid Circle of Dreams.
I feel like there was a subclass that maybe not to the same extent, but I think there was a subclass that
Monk?
got into it a little bit.
They got
I
healing?
looked. I
think
actually
so.
looked and there wasn't.
There's the Sun Soul, which
But
is
that's
all about
more of
dealing
like-
radiant damage, but
Yeah.
that's like playing a
Like-
Super Saiyan.
But there's because we were looking at it for Danny for the upcoming campaign.
Right.
She was looking at at archetypes for her possible monk.
I don't remember seeing one in any of the.
Ninja, martial arts.
I think it might
Bender.
be in. I think it might be in
There's
Sword Coast.
Sword Coast. I don't have that one.
there's the
I don't have Sword Coast.
Yeah, let me look.
Sun
It could be in
Soul.
Sword. I know there's the Way of Death in Sword Coast.
Yeah, but there was something that was almost like the mirror image of that. And I don't remember what it was called.
I don't know.
Give me
What's your other
a
subclass?
second.
So it's a subclass for Bard, and I'm calling it the College of Projecting.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of the main thing is like you can choose a point within within range, and that way range would be your proficient 10 times your proficiency.
Mhm.
So starting at like level 3, you can have the point of the spell's casting origin be where that is. And then also things would be like you can spend Bardic Inspiration to double the range of a spell. Silent casting, like kind of the things where it's like people have disadvantage to determine where it came from. So it's just like someone wants to try and counterspell you.
like a ventriloquist.
Yeah,
I was actually going to say it should be called College of Ventriloquism.
I thought projecting where it's just like you're projecting your voice elsewhere. Like, I like the idea where it's just like you choose a point of the spell's casting. So it's just like, I'm standing here, I can make it so the origin of where it's being cast from is like 20 feet.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting.
But then like at later levels it can be like up to 60 feet. So I've kind of doubled the range.
I would have to see it in play to see how,
Yeah.
like, what all I could actually do with that, but that seems really cool off the top of my head.
I greatly enjoyed it. So,
Did you find what you're looking for, Keith?
Do you not have a Sword Coast's book?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Okay. Yeah, those were two ideas I was just thinking the other day, and it's just like, that would be very cool for stuff like that, so.
No, I guess not, because that's really only got the Way of the Long Death and the Way of the Sun Soul.
Yeah, and Sun Soul kind of got adapted into the Xanthars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, yeah, the other one is the Way of the Death Monk, or whatever they're referred to.
Yeah.
Have you thought of any subclasses that you'd like to see? Or have thought of?
Not lately.
I know we were talking, like, there are some classes that get very few subclasses.
Ranger.
Ranger.
Yeah.
Well, that's because everyone's hopped off main Ranger and has moved to North Arcana.
Yeah.
Ranger. So.
Well, I mean, the revised Ranger is built better.
Yep.
Some might say broken.
Yes, but broken means people will play it. As we've established by building our own class.
Oh.
I don't know, I feel like Rogue gets a ton and Wizard doesn't get very many.
Well, Wizard already starts with 8.
Yeah, Wizard starts with all of the schools.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be honest, the schools are not that interesting.
True.
True.
I like them, they're cool, but like, compared with what other subclasses expand on, they're alright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like freaking Sorcerer and Warlock subclasses are phenomenal.
Yep.
The Rogues have a bunch. Unfortunately, I feel like most of them just aren't super useful. Like the Mastermind and the Inquisitor.
Yeah, those are more of like RP'd kind of stuff if you want to be
They're
more...
useful if you have someone who builds a game around using them, but
Yeah.
in general play, like the Inquisitive or whatever, the one who's all about getting people to tell them secrets, they're not super useful.
Right.
Yeah. Unless you're playing like a subterfuge game. Like
Yeah.
If you're playing a
politics.
city-based campaign, which there haven't been a lot of those out until
I think
recently, yeah, until
Dragon
Dragon
Heist
Heist.
might have. Dragon Heist was the only one where that comes from.
that would have
so.
been one of those would have come in handy
Yeah.
in Dragon Heist, but beyond that, not so much.
Yeah.
They are fun options. So, but most of the time, anyone who plays a rogue just does like assassin.
The freaking Swashbuckler is awesome.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Was it you I was talking with that I was trying to tell you should play Swashbuckler
I think
instead of a
that's
fighter?
Probably what I might do.
Barbarians don't have a lot of subclasses.
No, they only have like 2 in. Like,
It's 2 in the
main,
PHB and
And
3 in the
Yeah.
Xanthars.
yeah.
So Barbarian would be a good one. What would be a good Barbarian subclass?
one that's instead of like a one where the rage, instead of boosting your strength, it boosts another stat,
Yeah.
like Dex or like Intelligence. It'd be cool to have one that could be a caster while raging, and raging just made you better at casting spells. So instead of like a mindless rage, it was like hyper focused.
She-Hulk instead of Hulk.
Yes.
I'm
That'd be
trying to
cool.
think of how you do that, but that would be very interesting to.
Hey Griffin,
Hey, Griff.
Hey, Griff.
we finished our gunslinger.
Welcome, man.
It's broken. It's super broken.
We'll have to play test it and prove just how broken it really is.
Yeah.
I look forward to it.
Me too.
Jeez. Do we want to? Would we do a high level?
I feel like we have to do it at like 18th so we could
18th
see like
or-
all of it.
Well, I mean, if you're going to do all of it, go all
Go
the way
straight
to
to
20.
20.
Nah,
No.
you don't have to go up to 20 because like the 20th
18th
level
is
ability
pretty
is not
good.
Yeah.
18th is the real meaty, crazy
Okay.
stuff. 18th is where I can just say, nah, that doesn't hurt me.
Okay.
True. Oh,
20th level's just, I mean, I'm not doing anything else with my grip points. Yeah, sure, that'll be a crit.
it would be super fun to do a 2v2v2. 2 people are each of the
The 2
individuals
quicks
in-
versus the 2 uglies versus the 2
2
deadlies.
deadlies.
That would be fantastic.
and see who comes out on top.
So a 3v3, really. Or
I would-
6v6, but yeah.
It would be it would be 2v2v2, assuming the the deadlies, the uglies, and the quicks team up together. Or we could do a free for all if you would.
No. I like the idea of doing it like 2 deadlies, 2 uglies, 2 quicks.
It's so balanced. I don't know which one would win. Because the ugly could hold off for a while.
Not the quick.
You don't think the quick would last?
No, because the deadly won't be close enough for fanning the hammer, and the quick won't. So the quick won't be able to kill them fast enough, and they won't be able to put out enough damage Like they'll put out all this damage really fast, and so the uglies will just ignore it because it's right at the start where they have all their abilities to be like, no.
So you're thinking it would be up to the uglies versus the deadlies?
I mean, assuming everyone started in like their optimum positions, yes. Now, if everyone starts at equidistance away from each other, then it's anybody's game. Because like if you're a deadly, you're not going to be in fanning the hammer range.
The quick would have you did it at equal distance. The quick would have the more.
Yeah, they'd run to the middle of the arena and they'd make one shot against everyone there.
Wait a second. Hold on. I have to specify a rule that we made here.
Oh boy.
And talk about it because we did say that the deadly can.
It's within 30 feet.
So they could use their action to hit everyone.
Within 30 feet,
Within 30 feet for 2 grit points. That means that with their ability to attack 3 times in the first turn, they could auto-hit.
Yes, they could get 3 attacks against everyone within 30 feet for the cost of their grit points.
We would have to give everyone the same stats.
Same stats, same amount of ammo.
Yep.
Except, at that point, the ugly has got an advantage in hit points.
Griffin wanted me to point out to you that the 3rd level under the ugly proficiency is misspelled.
When you level up, add your Yeah, I'm sure.
Proficiency.
Yeah, I've never been really good at spelling. The version we're actually working off of here.
Did you seriously just try and point
yes, he did.
Yes, that doesn't work. This does. The version that we've been making notes on and working off of, I'm pretty sure most of the spelling is correct. Although I did
Except
find
for those few spots where it wasn't.
Where it was one instead of on.
It's just an extra E. We all need extra E, right? Sure.
Depending on what the E stands for.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Alright.
Yeah.
I think that wraps it up for today.
We've completed the Gunslinger.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to stream us playtesting this.
Yes. We'll have to get so one night. One night when we don't have anything else going on, we'll get everybody around the table, hand them a gunslinger at 18th level,
and let her go.
And see who's standing at the end.
No, we won't hand them. We'll tell everybody what stats they can use, but we should let everyone build theirs so we get the maximum amount of like, how do you break something?
Yeah.
Because I am already thinking stealth on a deadly.
Oh.
I shoot. I run away, I hide, I move and, shoot and scoot. Boom!
I just imagine it's like you're scooting at it,
scoot around the corner into an ugly.
Whoops!
Whoops! I've made a grave error. Now I'm just thinking of other subclasses that would be fun for this.
Oh, man. All right.
Well, we'll get to naming abilities and put out the
new PDF.
Put out the new PDF, and I may drop that onto the Discord server so that you guys can take a look at it and give us your thoughts. I will also include the gun rules. I'll probably roll all of that into a single PDF so that those are available, because the gun rules, while they are separate, are sort of integral to the...
The Gunslinger is not cool without the gun rules.
Yes.
So we'll roll all of that together so you guys have everything, and I'll put it up on the Discord server, and then we can play with that and play test it and see what you guys think, because it's a lot of fun.
Now I'm just thinking of a subclass that makes Derringers effective.
Ooh.
The Gambler.
The Gambler.
Yeah, the Gambler would be something for the Gambler for sure.
I know I keep saying it, but adding the armor thing, but then that once again breaks the.
It's a lot of math.
Yeah.
I like it, but it's a lot of math.
Yeah. Anyway, add your charisma modifier to damage. But that is for another time.
Yeah, that'll be for another time. We'll talk about that and figure out. Once we get this play tested and put out into the wild, maybe
Into the wild.
maybe see how it does, and then we can talk about the gambler.
Yeah.
And
We'll come up with some other cool ones.
yeah, a
I'd
few
like
other
to see
things.
one that's really good with a shotgun.
Yes.
The prospector. Well.
The homesteader.
Oh, homesteader.
I would just call him the coach, but
Okay.
all right, well.
Before we go into a tangent of actually making these.
So I don't have my normal reminders. This was sort of an off the cuff. Hey, we should get together and do this. But we do have reminders. Everything that we video does
Most everything we video.
most everything we video does find its way to our YouTube channel. Apparently, I'm missing one of the cover your assets.
Several cover your assets. There's only 2 of them on there. We've done like 7 of them.
Have we done that many?
Yeah.
Don't look at me. I don't know. I've slept since
I'll have to
then.
go back and see if I can find them. I hope they haven't been lost to cyberspace, but
Because there was the one where we talked about strongholds and followers. With Logan.
yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and
And
see if I
then
can find them.
we did one on the couch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll
And
have
then
to
we did like
see
2
if I
other
can-
ones at your house.
I'll have to see if I can find them because apparently I'm missing them. But most everything winds up on the YouTube channel. You can go check that out, follow along. We do also have our Discord server where you can interact with us, and obviously you'll be able to find the Gunslinger rules once those are all published up, and pull them down, look through them, play with them, see if you can break things beyond the way that we've designed them to be broken.
You totally can.
I know, but is it as broken as Monk?
I don't know. We'll wait and see.
We'll wait and see.
how bad I can break it.
But we'll have those out there for you guys. Feel free to check those out and let us know what you think. We've had a good time.
Yep.
Not sure if there's anything else I need to add.
No. Nope.
So just a reminder that this coming week, instead of our regular Monday night session, because we've got some scheduling conflicts, we are going to be playing Danny's session on Tuesday, so a week from tonight. We have started the countdown clock. You guys I don't think we announced this
I don't think so.
on the
No.
stream on last night, but we have started the countdown clock for wrapping up Danny's campaign and starting the next long-term campaign, which will be the homebrew that I'm working on
Have you given
myself.
it a name yet?
I have not. I have, but it's a
Okay.
spoilery name, so I don't really want to
Reveal it.
reveal that yet.
The legend of how the party killed the dragon.
So, but we'll be starting that up in, I guess, 4 weeks' time at this point.
Yep.
So 3 more sessions with Danny to get to a stopping point. Won't say the end, but a stopping point. And then we will pick up with the new campaign once we've passed that point. So that's coming up. The campaign primer went out. That may be another thing that I can actually put on to the Discord server,
probably
because
something you can reveal.
there's nothing super spoilery there. I may wait till closer to time to start the campaign, but I'll probably put that on the Discord as well, so you guys will have that to be able to look through and sort of get a sense for the world that we're starting out in. Beyond that, I think we're going to wrap up here tonight. I don't know if we want to do the full outro, since it is just the
we've
three
never
of
done it
us.
for cover your assets.
I will say, If you have a hammer, everything looks like a glass house, and we'll call it a night there.
See you
Good night,
guys.
everybody.
Guys.
Bye.